We cannot hear you, Totalas.
Sorry for this rookie mistake. As I was saying, we will wait for a couple of minutes as people are still joining, and we will start probably at 2 Central European time or 3 Eastern European time. Also, what I wanted to say that the meeting is recorded, so please keep this in mind. This will be helpful for those who can join the meeting or for those who need to leave earlier. So yeah, this is for your convenience. Okay, so is it 2 or 3? I think we can start. So good afternoon, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to the
Good
second
afternoon.
international panel of ECOPRISE. Today we will have a meeting of approximately 1 hour and a half. So we will have some time for questions. We will have one keynote presentation and then some other activities around these main activities. So today's topic is quite abstract, but I have a feeling that you will get more into this topic by the end of the panel. The name of the panel is From Ecofarm to Ecovillage. So you will learn how to go from Ecofarm into Ecovillage. You will learn more about Ecovillage from the theoretical part of it. Some theoretical definitions will be presented, and then you will also get some practical insights on Ecovillage and Ecofarm. So, partners who are organizing these international panels is the consortium of ECOPRISE project. This panel is being organized by the Critical Research and Design Agency in collaboration with Brigita Matijauskė, who is the main keynote speaker of this session. My name is Tautvydas, for your convenience. In case you have any questions, please ask these questions in the chat, or also feel free to raise your hands, and we will give you space for these questions or remarks. So what's the plan for the day? Firstly, I will start with a short exercise for all of you. You will have 3 questions where you will be invited to answer based on your experience, interests, and your location where you're currently living. I will be interested to get to know you, and you will have the opportunity to share your knowledge on the concepts that will be tackled in the session. So after this short exercise, we will have a brief introduction to key concepts related to this international panel and to the MOOC in a broad sense. So I have a feeling that some of you might be familiar with these concepts, but I will just briefly introduce it. And then after the introduction, we will continue with a keynote presentation from EcoFarm to EcoVillage. It's the same name for the panel and the presentation. And here we will have Brigita Matijauskė, who is a farmer and co-founder of Private Kindergarten and active community member of one of the villages in Lithuania, which is called Joneliškės. After the keynote presentation, we will have space for discussion, questions, and also for your remarks. We will be looking forward to hear from you. Maybe you have something to share related to the practices that will be presented and so on. And then as the final note, I will make a short announcement on the next events, and here will be the last thing. So without further ado, what's the goal of this presentation? So the goal of the panel is to inspire and demonstrate how eco-farming and community-based sustainability practices can drive socio-environmental transformation. This is the main aim of this presentation, and based on the goal, the panel was structured and planned. And in order to illustrate this goal, this mission, we will have a keynote presentation by Brigita, who will share her journey of turning an organic farm into an eco-village, highlighting the challenges and opportunities of creating regenerative communities. Yes. So firstly, the first thing I would like to do before starting even, I would like to get to know you. So here I would like to ask you to scan this QR code or to type slido.com, and we will have a short exercise here. You won't have a lot of questions, just 3 questions, but this is quite important to know you. And yes. So here, probably you see that the slides have changed. And just a moment. And yes, here's the QR code for those who need it. and we will begin with the first questions. With the first question, which is, where are you currently residing? I would like to know in what kind of settlements, cities, towns, villages do you live? Do you live in big cities, small cities, or maybe villages? This is the first question, just to get to know you. I see that the voting is closed. Now the poll is active. So please.
Sorry, can you give us a link so
A
that to press the link?
The link, yeah, sure. One moment.
Because I'm following from the telephone, I don't have a telephone to use it.
The link is quite simple. It's Slido, sorry for a mistake. It's slido.com, and when you go there, you just need to type the password, which is #1989434. It should work.
Live.com.
Yeah, as simple as that. And then you have a space where you have to type the password. So as I see, people are voting, and I see that more people are from cities, from major settlements. This is interesting because we have small settlements with less than 100 residents as the category which has the least people represented. Okay, one more minute. In case you have any technical issues, please let me know. You can also speak up or just write it in the chat.
Where are you currently residing?
Okay, then we will continue with the second question, as I see that the majority has voted, even though it's slightly changing. The next question is more related to the panel. The question sounds like that. Please choose the one concept from the list that you feel least familiar with, where you lack knowledge, where you lack insights. So it would be important for us to know which concept out of these four would it be? Would it be eco-village, regenerative development, permaculture, or maybe circularity? I see that most of the people are definitely familiar with circularity, so no one chooses this concept. But permaculture seems that it's a concept which is not so popular, maybe, or people just lack knowledge. It's quite interesting. Okay, so the majority has voted, and it seems that permaculture is the #1 concept, where people would like to probably hear more. Eco-village and regenerative development are the second and third concepts, which also require some introduction, some information. So good news is that the following information will help you to explore these concepts. MOOC is one of the way how you can learn about these concepts, but the following presentation, the keynote presentation, will help you to learn about these concepts more. And the last question before we begin is, which concept interest you the most? Which concept would you like to learn more about? This doesn't have to be the concept which you're the least familiar with. Maybe there's something that was not named in the last question. So feel free to just write the name of the concept you would be interested to learn more about. Maybe a phenomena, maybe something that was not disclosed. Sustainable AI, interesting. Sustainability, community farming, okay. Permaculture, this was something expected. We also have eco-villages, the growth, community eco-village, sustainable farming, eco-socialism, cultural heritage. A lot of community practices. We have community farming, community eco-village, community empowerment. So community-based practices is a topic that will also be covered by the presentation that will follow this exercise. Service with the bureaucracy. This is something I'm even myself not familiar with, so it's quite interesting to bring it up. Sustainable AI is gaining more votes. What else? Social permaculture, portability. Okay, let's wait for one more minute. Circular economy is also one of the topics mentioned. Okay. Reuse in architecture. That's interesting. Also very connected to the topic because we will talk about regeneration in rural settlements, so it's quite closely connected. Eco-sport growth, survive by bureaucracy. Very specific topics, I have to say, and I'm quite happy to see the variety and diversity of these topics because it shows that you already have some insights about these concepts. Okay, yes, it has slowed down. It seems that the winner is permaculture, and it's closely followed by community eco-village, cultural heritage, sustainable agriculture, sustainability, and sustainable AI. So some of the topics that were mentioned here will be covered by the following presentations. Other topics are covered by the MOOC or will be covered in the following events, I see, because some events are more focused on some elements of the MOOC than others. So thank you, those who have helped to answer these questions. Has been very helpful. I will go back to the presentation and I will begin with a concept that was already mentioned by you, eco-village. So what is eco-village? In literature, we have two ways how you write it, so it's also okay to see different formats. Sometimes it's referred as eco-village with a dash, sometimes eco-village, but eco-village is a cohabiting community united by a shared commitment to regenerating their social and natural environment through a collectively chosen lifestyle. So it's a community-based practice because for shared commitment, you have a community which agrees on the choices of lifestyle, which is being followed in these kind of community-based practices. This lifestyle of eco-village focuses on actions that contribute to regeneration across multiple domains. And we have here 4 domains. Traditionally, when we talk about sustainability, we usually have 3 domains: economic, social, and environmental. Here we have, instead of environmental, ecological, but we have one more additional, which is cultural. And this is a differentiation when we talk about eco-village concept and sustainability concept, because the cultural element here is of high importance and it's not neglected. It's the same, it's being valued the same way as the other 3 aspects. Eco-village concept will be further presented through its practical insights. But when we talk about regeneration, which is also important when we talk about eco-village, because it's about regenerating social and a natural environment, we have 4 regeneration pillars, which are being embodied by these community-based practices, eco-villages, let's put it this way. So one of the pillars is environmental regeneration. It's about restoring, preserving, enhancing, bettering the occupied environment, as well as biodiversity, which is part of the environment, this biota. Then we have social regeneration, which is about building a community and its institutions, which would be based on such elements as trust, equal opportunities for all, as well as collaboration. Then we have economic regeneration, which is about holistically transforming economic systems and practices to prioritize sustainability, equity, and community empowerment. And finally, we have the last element, which is not something, let's say, maybe not so focused and not so significant for sustainability concept, but it's really significant for eco-villages, is cultural regeneration, which is about preserving and enriching the diverse traditions, practices, and view systems, leading to harmony between well-being of individuals, community, and nature. So all of these pillars of regeneration, they're being traditionally embodied by eco-villages. When we talk about regeneration, it's also important to understand that closely related to that is regenerative development. Sometimes we talk about regenerative development in rural areas, sometimes in urban areas, sometimes we talk about overall the concept of regenerative development. So what is regenerative development? It's active restoration, revitalization, and improvement of different systems, environmental, social, economic, in rural and urban contexts. This approach represents a shift from the conventional approach of the preservationist paradigm toward a more restorative and systemic approach that prioritizes positive, regenerative, and systemic effects as opposed to the mere mitigation of adverse impacts. This paradigm shifts implies a fundamental transformation in resource consumption patterns, moving from linear take, make, dispose models to circular metabolic systems. And here on the right, we have a let's say, visualization of linear and circular models. So as the linear is about taking, making, disposing, and there is no closed loop of it, circularity is about making a closed loop. So you make a product, you use a product, and then you also use it for other purposes, the elements of it. So there is a closed loop that you reuse it. In these systems, outputs formerly regarded as waste are valorized as inputs for new production cycles. So you valorize these elements. That's the difference between it. And closely to regenerative development is also connected circularity, the concept maybe which was chosen the least, but is of also high importance. So circular systems aim to close the loop, ensuring resources are reused, repaired, and recycled instead of being thrown away. Circular thinking involves reimagining traditional business models or just traditional models not necessarily connected to business to focus on sustainability, regeneration, and long-term value creation. This valorization element is really important to circularity and regeneration. And while talking about circular economy, which falls under circularity, it's an economic system aimed at eliminating waste and continually using resources. This involves designing products and systems that circular materials at their highest value, whether through repair, resale, or reinvention. And here on the right, we also have a scheme. We have a visualization of circular system, which is about longer product life cycles, lower extraction of raw materials, cleaner production systems, and more sustainable economic growth, opposed to linear system, which is, let's say, not very sustainable action towards environment and different elements, social, economic, culture, because it's about depletion of resources, including raw resources, accumulation of waste, environmental degradation, and loss of economic value in discarded materials. And finally, the concept which was quoted the most, where you would like to learn more, is permaculture. So permaculture is quite a complex, not context, but concept, which is about sustainable holistic design approach that integrates agriculture, ecosystems, and human living environments to create self-sufficient and regenerative living system that work in harmony with nature. It mimics the patterns and relationships found naturally in nature, and it emphasizes all integrated systems and ecological principles to create sustainable human settlements, and has practical applications in design and different sectors, from food production to natural building and social and alternative economic tools and community. So even though it's usually seen as closely connected to agriculture, this concept is being widely applied in different concepts as well. So this is important to keep in mind. On the right, you have the main design principles of permaculture briefly visualized. So we have different areas where it could be applied: built environment, tools and technology, culture and education, health and spiritual well-being, finances and economics, land tenure and community, and land and nature stewardship. So these are the main, let's say, areas of application. And here you have another visualization, which is on the ethics of permaculture, because you have, let's say, three main groups of ethics, which permaculture encompasses, which is earth care, so caring about the planet and for the planet, and focusing on protecting, regenerating, and preserving the natural environment. Then we have people care, so caring for people, while emphasizing well-being, health, and empowerment of individuals and communities. And then fair share, redistributing surplus, which involves redistributing resources, as well as time and wealth, to create balance and equity. So as you see, there is a clear connection with the concept of sustainability, because we tackle here three concepts: economic, environmental, and social sustainability, as well as connected to eco-village, because it's also about the same concepts, and that eco-village is entangled. Here is only missing the cultural element, which is being emphasized by eco-villages. And finally, the last concept before proceeding with the keynote presentation is intercropping. This concept, maybe it's widely known, but I decided to cover it because maybe this term is not so familiar in English. It might raise questions. So what is intercropping? It's an agriculture system in which two or more crops are grown close together in the same field. So here you have some photos to look at and maybe to understand it better. How does it look in practice? So as they're being grown in the same field, their functional complementarity improves land use efficiency, resource use, and overall productivity. So it helps to sustain rich elements in soil and not to overuse it with one species of plant. This practice includes practices such as mixed cropping, companion planting, relay cropping, interseeding, overseeding, underseeding, smoother cropping, polycultures, and living mulches, and may involve combinations of cash crops and cover crops. This is just a brief intro to these concepts. I believe that intercropping will be mentioned again in the presentation, and you will hear more about this practice. So that's all when talking about the concepts. More information about these concepts and other relation information could be found in Module 0 of MOOC. Some of the information was taken from Unit 5 to 8, so permaculture ethics, principles, eco-village design education, regenerative development, and circular economy. These topics are even more broadly defined and presented in these units. So feel free to go to MOOC and explore these topics further, as well as other topics that are presented in Module 0 and other topics. And as it's already half past, I would like to proceed with the main presentation of the panel, where our guest speaker, Brigitta, will share her journey of turning her organic farm into eco-village, highlighting the challenges and opportunities of creating regenerative communities. Our keynote speaker is also from Lithuania, so she will share her practices from her, let's say, village town where she's based. So, Brigitta, without further ado, I would like to give the word to you. Please feel free to share your presentation.
Hello. Nice to see some of you, not all of you. Like Tautvydas mentioned, I am from Lithuania, and I will try to share my presentation with you very shortly. Okay. Yes. And it's a very nice day in Lithuania. We just had some snow, so it's very white. And everybody is excited because it gets kind of dark and gray in the autumn, and the snow always says everybody's mood, and so we are enjoying it. I noticed that a lot of participants are from different regions, and also like our short intro showed a lot of live in the cities, so maybe some things that looks very natural and ordinary to us, maybe it looks more like some kind of mystery to the others. So I'm very happy that Tautvydas really shared the theory and gave us more explanations and some material to think about, because my presentation is just an example. It's just an example of a journey, how it went for me, for my family, and it is it had a lot of different circumstances that it was possible to become, but I just want to share, and maybe somebody will be inspired to do something around in their lives or in their work field. So actually, there was shown in very nice photo before, we live in a very multi-diverse place. Lithuania is a green region. We still have a lot of forest, a lot of lakes, swamps, rivers, and where I live, it's even more like that. It's our land is not. It was not very much cultivated before. When I started my farm, it was 15 years ago. I just finished school, and my father had a farm in a different region, and he encouraged me to make it my own. He didn't ask to come to work with him or help him. He said, "You can do it," and that was very good place and good time to start, because we still had a lot of land that was not used by anyone. Some land was still owned by the government. And I understand that, for example, in Netherlands or in all the European countries, the case is not like that. So in my case, after school, I just started to look for some land that was maybe left to it. Maybe there was some bushes. Maybe there was something else. Some problem, some water that needs to be fixed. Some drainage to be done. So you can see here in the photos that it's very diverse. We have a very small small fields. So actually, the one field can have a lot of small trees in it and a lot of elements, nature elements that is still there and that just still don't need recultivating. Our land was still natural when we started farming. Also the big support and the big step was that European funds was sponsoring young farmers. So I write a project and got European support. From that money, we purchased our first technique, like a tractor, some other smaller equipment that we needed to start our organic crop farm. I always knew that my farm would be organic, and it was never I never did any counting. What is better? I just to do something good is always better. It doesn't matter how you count it. You can count it from one side, you can count it from the other. If you are doing something for life, you will be happier with if you are doing something not so good. In some way, it will lead to something. It's like I don't know how you can call it. You can call it karma or how you want. You can call it, but it's the very simple mathematics was for me that I knew that I will have an organic farm, and I started to certify my fields. And this presentation, when I was making it, I had like an idea that the farm journey is like a plant, so the idea, the support, the first fields was like a seeds, and the sprout, the first steps into reality was that actually the farm started to expanded in size and the productivity. We in our farm, we cultivate wheat, buckwheat, beans, rapeseed, peas, all the ecological crops. We use crop rotation, in which we place great emphasis on intercropping. Like you've seen examples here, you also can see that we grow not monoculture. We try to grow at least 2 plants or 3 plants in one field. That's how we take care of our soil. That is our main thing with which we work. And also we prevent some diseases with that, have more diversity. It helps to prevent like the droughts or the very heavy rainfalls. The plants that go combines well together, sometimes they keep each other company, and like with the partner it's easier to go through some difficulties. So also for the plants, if you have a right partner, it's always easier. So one plant that we really love and we grow a lot is a clover. Maybe you know it. It's like this plant which has a lot of nutrients in it. We grow it as an intercrop, and also we grow it for seeds. And our farm was growing in that direction that we had kind of a lot of fields and started to ship our production in big trucks. We used to load, and we also now do some of our crops. We load big trucks, like 25 tons usually. And for example, we grow buckwheat and we sell it to Italy. It goes away. We grow wheat, we sell it to Germany. We grow peas, we don't know where they go because they go to some, we sell it, they go to some ship, it ships that somewhere, from there it is manufactured and goes somewhere else. So sometimes interesting, there was like times when from Austria comes person who has a firm and is growing. We are growing for him some rape seeds for the oil, for the baby food, and all the rape seeds goes to Austria. Then it's produced. It come back to Lithuania. I can see the name of that contractor. They sell their production in Lithuania. Just a lot of movement around. In the beginning, there was a lot of a very, very small part of our production was stayed in where we worked. So after some years, we also had another round of modernization. We changed our tractors, we changed our working equipment. We had an old greenhouse which we renovated. We built containers. We have now drying facility, packing facility. Last investment included an agro drone that can lift up to 70 kilograms of seeds. We do small plant seeds seeing with this agro drone. It helps us to do that intercropping that we use in better time, and also with the very little fuel we use, because it's we have a generator that uses gas, but from there it goes into batteries, and agro drone is operating on electricity. So even we can charge the batteries from solar panels or from something else. So that is more one of the ways that we can save our negative output in our work field. Also, we try to use minimal tillage for further regenerating the soil. As you can see, and also there's just some photos, we have different technologies, and we try to not to use all that just for as little as we need to have the output that we want. And actually, a few years ago, our orientation really changed, because with my husband, we had the first baby, and I had much less time that I could spend working, and doing something, writing some project, I needed really to prioritize my time, and that was a time when I had more time at home, and I had more time to think, because everything was going very well, so everything was growing. So why to stop? You can always have some more fields and more tractors and more something else. So, but that was the very good time to stop and think, and I really thought that I would love that that production that we make, it would stay here in my country, that we could use some of it, and that was the time when we started to produce flour and semolina. We go to mill with our, we have some wheat or rye seeds, and we make flour. Then from that flour, we make some bakeries, we bake our bread, something else, we make a pie. So that was very small part of our production, but from that, our friends started to ask that they also want, so we make a bit more every year. And also in growing production, we started to grow not production for the food, but we started to produce seeds, like some old some traditional national species of plants that was used here a long time ago. We started to produce that seeds that other farmers could grow them. That is more suitable for eco farms, more suitable for our climate, because not everything that grows here can grow somewhere else. So that was also one part that we changed, that our production would stay in the region. And actually now we have 3 boys. We are growing. They came one after the other in a short period of time. And when our family was growing, we understood that we want our kids to stay in this community, in this community with nature, that they would eat healthy food, that they would learn about that biodiversity or regenerative agriculture from the very beginning of their lives. And of course, as a family, we do that, but there was more families that wanted a different kind of education. So with friends from our village, we created a small private kindergarten, and our kindergarten has a small kitchen where we make food for kids, and kids really love to take care of animals. My father has a stable with horses and chickens and goats and ducks. So the children really love to go to the animals, to see the rabbits, to bring them something. So we teach them, if they eat something and there is some food left, or they need to take it to the animals, or if it's very cold outside and it's hard to stay outside, you can always go to the farm, because it's always more warm when there is more light. So this is how it started to be. The farm started to be like that, that the foundation, and around that, like in intercropping, like you always have the main crop which you want to grow. For example, wheat. You want to grow wheat, but you have plants that support it and is partners with that plant. So our farm became like this main focus that we get. From there, we get our financial support and we get that stability. But around that, we developed another activities, and a kindergarten or a kitchen sounds like a very simple idea, like what do you need? But there was this word, or maybe not one in the questions, and what is like the main problem or difficulty is that everywhere you have so many regulations and bureaucracy and restrictions, and something that looks very simple sometimes become very energy and time expensive, because if you have like a small kitchen that you feed 15 children, it's the same like you have a kitchen and you have a restaurant and you feed thousands of people. If you have an IKEA kitchen and you have kindergarten kitchen, it's the same rules, the same regulations, the same amount of paperwork you need to do. But I don't know, because maybe my work was always not to drive a tractor or to fix something, but to think and to have a solution, to find some way to do something. So I think that practice was also useful for our growing community, and for our kindergarten and for kitchen. We somehow managed to get all the needed documents, and our now village has a lot of activities that and more working places than it was a few years ago. So also there was like a topic about cultural heritage. So from Lithuania, we have a Baltic religion, very old religion that was here before Christianity. I wouldn't say that it is our religion. I just can say that it has so many beautiful things that we try to incorporate in our life, like the connection with the nature, the thankfulness you give to the earth, to the water, to the fire, and the biggest celebration in our village is Midsummer's. It is actually the village where we live is Joneliškės, and Midsummer's is also in Lithuania the name of John. So my husband is John, my son is John, and we live in the village which is called something like John Town. So we have a very big celebration. A lot of people come from not only from where we live, but a lot of people who come only for vacation from other countries. They want to spend some time with animals, with nature, and it is a beautiful time to appreciate what we have and be thankful for that nature that is still very alive around us and very much doesn't need regenerating still. just needs love and respect. So that was a brief example of one farm, how it evaluated into something more, how everything grew around it. And now it's the time of spreading the seeds. Maybe it's a bit too late because it's winter, but still. So the seeds is that work that and volunteering that I do after the all jobs is done, and our farm became a part of Climate Farm Demo project, in which they calculate carbon emission, and actually it showed that our farm has a negative carbon balance. And we organize events and open field days in our farm, and starting to help other farms with individual consultations. And there is some big farms that actually are going from conventional farming to ecological farming, and I always help with all the paperwork and just support and some call while doing some journal. Sometimes you just need somebody to say, "Oh, everything will be okay." Just I know it's a lot of, but just keep holding in there, because it's the right way to go. So I don't know if you are coming with me to the other page. I want to show Climate Farm Demo page. Can you see it?
We cannot see the page, we still see the slide.
Oh, okay, so I will new share.
So I think I have to...
I wanted to can you see the page now?
Yes.
So I just wanted to show the Climate Farm Demo page that actually has a map. I thought that I saw a lot of people from other countries, so maybe they can find here their country. Maybe they can find some place very nearby that has some interesting farm that they can visit, or maybe also like you see the map of Europe and all the farms that it is in this project. So you can zoom on your country later on and see if there is something you would like to visit or are interested. Also, they have events of demo farms, some field days, maybe somewhere also around you, some events or some just information. So I just wanted to show you where you can look for maybe some other farms that are having some similar work doing. I don't know if you are again on the slides with me.
Yes, we can see that.
So to summarize everything, I just want to say that we still are not somewhere where we have like fully functioning eco-village, but we really have some ecosystem that is we support each other. We try to that sustainability. It's not a word for us. We really try to live like that, and it's interesting journey, and it evolved around the farm, but now farm is just a small part of that system that integrates agriculture, education, food processing, celebrations, cultural activities, and community life. So that was my presentation, and I don't know how I am. I think I'm very good in time, and and I just want to really hear something from you and to answer all the questions or some yours, to hear your short story at what point you are, and so this will help to moderate, and looking forward.
Yes, so Brigitta, thank you for the presentation. I believe it was very interesting. Hopefully the same feeling has our audience. So I would like to invite all of you and to ask questions, share comments, remarks. Please just raise your hand and then you can ask a question. Who would like to be first? In case you need any help or you're not feeling comfortable talking, you can also share your insights in the chat. You can write down your questions there. Also, don't worry about the language. We can also translate it. So please share your insights. Okay, as we are still waiting, I will begin with the first question. Has there been a time when you were thinking, why am I doing that? And I wish that I haven't started this idea. Have you had like any these kind of thoughts where you're thinking that maybe it would have been better to do it differently, or I wish I would not have done it?
I think that all these thoughts now there was this time of period when I was really questioning what is the purpose of my life and my work, and it stopped after having kids because I don't have any more time to wonder these questions. But it's a good thing, I think. Now when I was doing something and all that production was going somewhere like without no trace, it was more like I didn't had any response. So that was the time I questioned it. But now when it has some response, when I know that what I'm doing, I don't feel that way anymore.
Okay. And now we have some questions in the chat, so I will read them loud. Is there anything you would do differently if you were starting all over again? It's a question from Giovanna.
What I would do differently? No, I don't know what I would do differently. Everything turned out well, and maybe just maybe earlier I would start the processing of the food of our production, because it takes a lot of time to start that thing. So I think I would have started earlier to think how I can leave how I can make something more, not only production, but the final product. So I would have started earlier to do that.
Okay, thank you. Then the next question is by Snezhana. I don't know if I missed this information, but do you take volunteers, international or local? So maybe you need any help with your farm, eco-village? So
Of
do you
course.
Yeah.
Of course, we take volunteers, and we have a lot of people from Ukraine coming. Definitely, the summer is the best time for all the volunteers, and we even had Jurta, that one friend from Germany and friend from Lithuania lived all the summer nearby. So we have volunteers, and we always take guests. What I didn't mention is there is a lot of excursions in the stables. A lot of groups from kindergartens come to see the animals, and yes, I think there was all the contacts in the slides. I can also send them in the maybe in the chat. Somebody, if have a question or some proposal later, can contact in a message or in the email.
Yes, or you can contact us and we will connect you. Then we have another question by Nele. How many people live there permanently?
In the village where I live, there is around 100 people, but they are not involved. They are not all involved in this community. How can I tell? There is just some houses, some families, but the main group that is kind of keeping all the activities and all the events is much smaller, and we are everybody is kind of connected. We have our family, we have people who work in the kindergarten, we have people who takes care of the animals in the stable. So it's a smaller group of that people that keeps our community alive. But the village is 100 people, small village, but it's very nearby the city, just 5 minutes from. Oh, in the farm, you meant in the farm. Yes, we have workers in the farm. I see that from Nele to everyone. I meant in the farm. 5 people are working now in the farm. I am responsible for the paperwork, and we have people that works with the tractors and that works in the greenhouse. So we have a small collective that works in the farm.
Thank you. Then we have 2 questions by Carmen. Does Lithuania have many eco-villages, and do you have many neighbors who follow the same approach? With the first question, I maybe can help a little bit. In Lithuania, we have not a lot of eco-villages. If you compare it to France, where there is a big eco-village culture, or Germany, we have Kardokai, we have Milkys. Maybe I'm missing something, so feel free to add here, Brigitta. And just for your information, I will add this link. You can also search eco-villages throughout Europe using Gen Europe website. You will see more there. So Brigitta, I will give the word to you.
We don't have a lot of eco-villages, and I also wouldn't call even our village like the proper eco-village, because it's going there, but it's more like a village with a very strong community. But eco communities is not that popular in Lithuania, and this kind of new thing and interesting, like you mentioned, Kardokai or other, interesting that they kind of evolve in Lithuania around schools and education, around people that have some private education system. It's for me interesting. I don't know, is there like that in other countries where are more eco-villages? Is that common?
Yes, please share. It would be interesting to hear. Talking about other countries, we have Antonis from Cyprus. So he says that I live in a village in Cyprus, which is anything else than an eco-village. What can it be the first step as a community to start over or push the authorities to begin an eco-transformation?
What would be, I don't know how it is in Cyprus, but in Lithuania, especially in the region, the thing what we like is initiative. So I think the initiative just to like to see when it's like a next event, and to like I don't know how to call it, like the next government open event, and to go there and say that you should be like that. I think it would be the start, or just like a small group of people having their community garden would be practical thing to start. And I can see that it's not how to say, it's not very easy to do something, but I don't feel that it's like there is no way to change something. So I think to be heard, to see your opinion, and to find the people who would like to be with you in this would be the first steps. Just like have a small group of initiative and do something beautiful, and then everybody will think, oh, we should join. But someone always has to start.
Thank you. Then we have another question by Michalakis. I suppose life is interesting but also difficult in eco-villages, right? I guess it's gonna be more about your way of living in the eco-farm and eco-village combination, let's say.
Yes, it's interesting, and like you say, it's not easy. I wouldn't say it's difficult, but I wouldn't say it's easy, because it's always you are in this you are not going the fastest way somewhere. You are not deciding that, oh, okay, I will just go to shop and buy everything I need. You start to you try to go out of that pattern, and the only hard thing is to start going in the other direction. When you start, then it starts to look hard to go to the shop, or like when you get used to something, it becomes natural. But the shift is while you learning the new thing, it's in everything. Then when you are already in it, it's not hard, but to go and shift.
Indeed, thank you. As we don't have any more questions, I would like to ask a question which is focused towards the audience, and I will just share my slides really briefly. So the question is, what's your key takeaway from the presentation? Maybe you can share it in the chat, your key takeaway. What is the message that you're taking away from the presentation by Brigitta or the overall panel? I would love to hear from you. Maybe it's something that you have learned, maybe it's something that you understood, or something that you just discovered. It would be interesting to hear. We see that some people are also sharing resources, which is also really nice, about the transition movement and about permaculture, social design processes. And we see some key takeaways coming. So one of the key takeaway is everything is possible when you really want it. That's a nice thought and a nice approach to have. Another key takeaway, that you need to try starting from something small, and you never know. Okay, small steps make big impact. I see that there is correlation about small steps and small things. Another key takeaway, just do it, repeat, improve, go organic, work with community, and share. Another one, go with the flow. Starting with one thing does not mean that you have to go and all the way with it. Another one is that trust that was put in you to develop the farm feels like the right herd-led approach. Live sustainable as your way of life. Realization that starting with ecological may bring you to the other pillars. Indeed. Interesting thoughts. Birgitta, maybe something has resonated with you from these key takeaways?
Yes, I also am reading, and very nice to hear, and also like Maria now posted, the fact that we can plant more than one crop in the one place is like with your life. It's you never know. You can have your work, you can have your volunteering, you can have your family, and like the more you have, it doesn't compete with each other all the time. Sometimes it helps that other things in life you do. Sometimes it helps, like to be to be more. And to live more interestingly, and also when it's some problems come, sometimes you can rest from your farming and be with your other activities. Sometimes you can change, and that is that intercropping in life, like you can also do it in your work, the intercropping very nicely.
Indeed. And then we have a key takeaway from Tom. I really loved hearing about your traditional pre-Christian spirituality, how it supports your connection with nature, and the way you're bringing these practices into community life. Yes, I believe it's maybe a bit unusual because in other countries we don't really have this maybe strong connection to paganism, neo-paganism movement like in Southern Europe. But maybe I'm wrong. So I would love to hear. Maybe you also have these old traditions that stem from the time of pre-Christianity, maybe in Greece, Spain, Portugal, other countries, Serbia. It would be interesting to hear. But in Lithuania, we do have these Baltic traditions which are trying to be brought back to life.
And also, I'm interested, is like the auditory are like you students, or just like spending your free time, or more like listening it to get inspired for your work? What is your occupation? Also, maybe you can share. It would be very interesting.
Yes, feel free to share. Our profile of our audience quite varies as far as I know. We see education, so we have some students, we have some professors from higher education institutions, from vocational education and training institutions. We have some people who are already professionals, like architects, builders, web designers. We also have community members or community leaders. We also have recent graduates from high schools who are just looking for their way in life. So we have many different profiles. Some people are also owning farms and having
Oh,
a
nice,
community network.
Carmen.
Yeah. So very different profiles: agronomists, engineers, designers, consultants. And some people are planning to have a small version of your project, so it's good news.
So if you have some questions that come later, or by accident you are nearby, so we can connect. if you would like to see some photos of the celebrations or events we have, you can look for Joneliškė bendruomenė on Facebook, or you can search my name and you will see that activities that we do, and a lot of events are like just open for everybody who want to come. I understand that it's not a lot of people from Lithuania, but maybe somebody.
Yeah, we do have some Lithuanians, but they're quite a small cohort compared to other countries, because we also have participants from all around Europe, pretty much, Italy, Spain, Estonia, and so on. So the last question, the very last, in case you have any more remarks, impressions, feelings, feel free to express them in the chat. Meanwhile, some updates, some messages. As some of you already know, we will have an international study visit in Lithuania. So I believe it's a great opportunity not only to see the country, but to see the practices. So maybe these contacts that you make now, they will last, and you could maybe even visit some of the people that you meet or visit maybe your Brigitta eco farm. Would that be possible? I was wondering.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a possibility. So I believe it's a great chance. Yes, and another thing that I also wanted to mention is next events that will be upcoming this week. After this panel, which is the second one, we will have another panel on 27th of November, which is going to be Thursday, and it's going to be about regenerative entrepreneurship and agrivoltaics, rethinking renewable energies. So you see, the topic is different, but the regeneration aspect is being kept. So we will proceed with that. Here we will have Land, who will be organizing this session. So please stay updated for this. And I will check the chat if we have any more comments or maybe questions. Yes, considering that this presentation was recorded, will it be available during the rest of the course? Yes, the presentation will be available. The recording will be uploaded, so you can also check it later at your convenience. We have some words for gratitude for Brigitta. Nice and innovative place. Thanks for sharing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. A lot of words of thank you. Yes, if you don't have any more questions, we can end it here. So thank you, Brigitta, for the presentation. It was very interesting and very inspiring. That was the main goal of the panel, and I believe that we have succeeded, because some people felt inspired and would like to have a small version of your practice. So it's great news, and let's stay in touch for the next events. Thank you, and have a nice evening.
Okay, bye.
Thank
See you.
Bye.